Hello, this is Slate with Combo of Rocks, bringing you another video deck tech of a deck that we built and sold by request. If you're not familiar with us, we make and sell custom budget EDH decks. These decks are light on the budget, so they may not be optimal or competitive, but they're definitely fun and centered around a central theme that you can build on. Today we have Shilgengar, Sire, Famine, which is 3 black for a 6/6 legendary elder demon with flying. You can sack another creature to create a blood token. If you sacrificed an angel this way, create a number of blood tokens equal to its toughness instead. You can pay 3 black-white hybrid to sack, and sack 6 blood tokens to return each creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. So those creatures are vampires in addition to the other types. So the request here was angels and demons. My mind went right to Shilgengar for the commander, but let's get into the deck. We have Liesa, Forgotten Archangel, which is 2 white black for a 4/5 legendary angel with flying and lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. You have Angel of Despair, which is 3 white black for a 5/5 flying angel. When it enters, destroy target permanent. Perfect for reanimating, since there is a reanimator theme in this deck. We have Furia's Retribution, 1 white black for an enchantment saga with 3 chapters. First chapter, create a 4/4 angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Second chapter, angels you control have tap, destroy target creature with power less than this creature's power. And the third chapter, angels you control gain double strike until end of turn. We have Spirit Sister's Call, which is 3 white black for an enchantment. On your end step, choose target permanent card in your graveyard. You can sack a permanent that shares a card type with the chosen card. If you do, return the chosen card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Legions to Ashes, 1 white black, sorcery, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, and all tokens that player controls with the same name as that permanent. Breathkeeper Seraph, 4 white for a 4/4 flying angel with soul bond, so you can pair it with another creature. As long as it's paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, when this creature dies, you can return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next upkeep. We have a Dawnbreaker Reclaimer, 4 white for a 5/5 flying angel. At the beginning of your end step, choose a creature card in an opponent's graveyard. Then that player chooses a creature card in your graveyard. You may return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's controls. We have a Karmic Guide, which is 3 white for 2/2 Angel Spirit with flying and pro black with Echo, 3 white, so on your next upkeep you have to pay that cost or sack it. When it enters, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. We have Bruna, the Fading Light, which is 5 white for 5/7 Angel Horror. Whenever you cast her, you can return an angel or human from your graveyard to the battlefield with flying and vigilance. It does meld with Gissa. She is not in the deck because she is not very budget, but you can meld them into Brizella, which is a 9/10 Eldrazi angel with flying, first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Your opponent can't cast spells with mana value 3 or less, which is nice, but again, you'll have to add your own Gisela if you want her in here. Requiem Angel, 5 white for 5/5 flying angel. Whenever a non-spirit creature you control dies, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Angel of Deliverance, 6 white for a 6/6 flying angel with delirium. So if you have 4 or more card types in your graveyard, when it deals damage, if there is that, exile target creature an opponent controls. Angel of Serenity, 4 and 3 white for a 5/6 angel of flying. When it enters, exile 3 other creatures from battlefields or creatures from graveyards. These can be your own creatures. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exile cards to their owner's hands. Angelic Arbiter, 5 white for a 5/6 flying angel. Each opponent who casts a creature can't attack with, or casts a spell can't attack with creatures. Each opponent who attacked with a creature can't cast spells. So just a little bit of restrictive play there. Angel of Ruins, 5 white for 5/7 angel with flying. When it enters, exile up to 2 target artifacts or enchantments. You can also plain cycle this for 2 colorless. Dream Devourer, 1 white for a 0/3 Demon Cleric. Each non-land card in your hand without foretell has foretell. Its foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2. Whenever you foretell a card, it gets +2/+0. This is good just to get some of the bigger creatures out of your hand and also cast them for cheaper later on as you cast them for 2 less. That is nice. Archfiend of Ifnir, 3 black for 5/4 demon with flying. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature opponent's control with cycling 2. Blood tokens do allow you to draw and discard cards, so that is handy. There's also some other ways to discard cards from your hand in this deck that help us reanimate some of those bigger angels and demons. Cemetery Tampering at 2 and a black with Hideaway 5. So you exile a card from the top 5 cards of your library face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may mill 3 cards. If there are 20 more cards in your graveyard, you can play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. We have Key to the City, which is a 2-mana artifact. Discard a card and tap it. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. When it becomes untapped, you can pay 2 colorless. If you do, draw a card. We have Jaloom Tomb, 3 mana, 2 tap to draw a card, then discard a card from your hand. Collector's Vault, 2 mana, 2 tap, draw a card, discard a card, then create a treasure token. The Underworld Cookbook, 1 mana artifact. You can tap and discard a card to create a food token. You can also pay 4 tap and sack it to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Solemn Simulacrum, 4 mana 2/2. When it enters, search for basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. When it dies, draw a card. We got some mana rocks here. Coalition Relic is our first one. Soul Ring. Arcane Signet. Warzov Signet. Talisman of Hierarchy. Warzov Locket can be sacked to draw 2 cards. Everflowing Chalice can be kicked to tap for extra colorless mana. Worn Power Stone, 3 mana, taps for 2 colorless. Wayfarer's Bauble, this is our colorless Rampant Growth. Navigation Orb, our colorless Cultivate, but it can grab Gates, which can be important. Firemind Vessel, taps for 2 mana of different colors. Stone Speaker Crystal, taps for 2 colorless, 2 taps, sack, exile any number of target player's graveyards, then draw a card. Mind Stone, taps for colorless, can also be sacked to draw a card. Prismatic Lens, taps for colorless, can also filter mana. Rampage of the Valkyries, 3 white, black for an enchantment. When it enters, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Whenever an angel dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. Lingering Souls, 2 and a white. Create 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying with flashback, 1 and a black. This is great for sacking to Shilgengar to make some blood tokens. Defy Death, 3 white for sorcery. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's an angel, put 2 1/1 counters on it. We have Archangel, which is 5 white for 5/5 flying vigilance angel. Angel of Retribution, 6 and a white for 5/5 flying first strike angel. Wisp Weaver Angel, 4 white for 4/4 flying angel. When it enters, exile another creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Great for getting rid of finality counters or reusing enter the battlefield effects. Angel of Finality, 3 and white for a 3/4 angel with flying. When it enters, exile target player's graveyard. Builder's Blessing, 3 and white for an enchantment. Untap creatures you control get +0/+2. Remember, Shilgengar does count on the toughness of the angel that you sacrifice. This does help us create some extra blood tokens. Requisition Raid, 1 white with Spree, pay 1 extra for each mode, destroy an artifact, an enchantment, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. We have Exhume, 1 and a black. Each player puts a creature card from their graveyard onto the battlefield. Dread Return, 2 black, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You can flash it back by sacking 3 creatures. Unburial Rites, 4 and a black, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with flashback, 3 and a white. Shieldred's Restoration, 3 and a black, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You can kick it for 2 and a white. If you do, you gain life equal to that card's mana value. Otherwise, you lose that much life. Then you have to exile the card. Bitter Triumph, 1 and a black, as an additional cost to cast, discard a card to pay 3 life. Destroy a creature or planeswalker. Discarding a card is relevant here. Bone Shards, 1 black, as additional cost to cast, sack a creature or discard a card. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Sinister Concoction, 1 black, enchantment, pay a black and a life. Put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Discard a card, sack this, destroy target creature. Zombie Infestation, 1 and a black, discards 2 cards to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Buried Alive, 2 and a black, searches your library for 3 creature cards, puts them into your graveyard, again for reanimating effects. Dreadhound, 4 black for a 6/6 demon dog. When it enters, mill 3 cards. Whenever a creature dies or is put into the graveyard from the library, each opponent loses 1 life. Reassembling Skeleton, 1 and a black for a 1/1 skeleton warrior. You can return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tap for 1 and a black. Disciple of the Vault, 1 black for human cleric. Whenever an artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you can have target opponent lose 1 life. Great for blood tokens. Marionette's Apprentice, 1 and a black for 1/2 human artificer with Fabricate 1. So it enters with a 1/1 counter, but most likely you want the 1/1 servo. Whenever a creature or artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Underhanded Designs, 1 and a black. Whenever an artifact enters under your control, you can pay a colorless. If you do, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. 1 black, sack the enchantment, destroy target creature, activate only if you have 2 or more artifacts. Eviscerator's Insight, 1 and a black, instant is additional cost to cast, sack an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards with flashback, 4 and a black. Dire Sight, 2 and a black, sorcery, surveil 2, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Funeral Rites, 2 and a black, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, mill 2 cards. Discerning Taste, 2 and a black, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. You gain life equal to the greatest power among creature cards put into your graveyard this way. Morbid Curiosity, 1 black as additional cost to cast, sack an artifact or creature, draw cards equal to the converted mana cost of the sacrifice permanent. Into some lands here, we do have Caves of Koilos, Isolated Chapel, Temple of Silence, Shine Shadow Snarl, Restless Fortress, turns into a 1/4 nightmare that when it attacks, the defending player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Vault of the Archangel, you can pay some mana to give your creatures death touch and lifelink until end of turn. Gaia Reach Sanitarium, taps for colorless, 2 tap, draw a card, each player draws a card, then discards a card. Myriad Landscape for some ramp. Great Hall of Starnheim allows you to pay white, black, and sack a creature to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Tainted Field, Wurzov Basilica. Ballroom, this one can create clue tokens. Silver Quill Campus, this one allows you to scry. Wurzov Guildgate. Scoured Barrens can gain a life. Neglected Manor. Command Tower, and then just some basic plains and swamps here. That's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it, but we'll see you next time.